Posted by user odd.5178, titled, Am I the asshole here for not wanting to raise my non-binary daughter's baby? My daughter came to me at 16 and said she was non-binary, but only sometimes. Like, some days she would feel more male than female, and some days she would feel like neither. She wanted me to ask her every day what day it was, and then refer to her as that pronoun of the day. I told her that that wasn't going to fly. Growing up, I spent a lot of time on LJ during the old bun self and zen self, zer self days. I don't like how big this is. I'm just gonna put it a little bit more, sorry. People who think that this is new to this generation are fooling themselves. I told her that I would call her the pronoun that she wanted and do my best to remember it day to day, but she was going to have to tell me what day that she wanted, for that day. I wasn't going to play a daily guessing game. This went on for about a week or two until she finally seemed to grow tired or bored and just said that I could call her, though she still identifies as non-binary. Fine. At least when it was going on, she wanted she, he, or they. I'm sorry, but I couldn't have done for fox self, fox them with a straight face. 1 second. So that's the pronoun story, and looking back where I think things started to go off the handle, here is my real question. My daughter is now 18, pregnant, and seems to have lost her goddamned mind. Or I'm an asshole. You choose. This year has been a struggle. She wanted to take a break a year before she goes to community college, but she can't keep a job. Apparently, retail situations are too phobic against her non-binary states. My child looks, acts, and dresses exactly as a young adult female, by the way. When I ask how people are being phobic against her, she gets as prickly as a cactus, so I really don't know the details. She's been through 4 or 5 jobs this year, quit all of them. She won't consider call centers that aren't face-to-face because she doesn't like to talk on the phones, and is apparently looking for a remote job without any luck. She's been unemployed since Thanksgiving, she quit her last job on Black Friday in fact, and I was on the verge of laying down the law, telling her she either needs to go back to school this upcoming semester full-time, or get a full-time job, or move out with her friends. But now she's come to me and she's 5 months pregnant. She's very angry at me. Says it's my fault because 1, I didn't put her on puberty-blocking hormones when she came to me 2 years ago. 2, she believes I am in fact trying to feminize her by getting her birth control, the pill. She's been throwing her prescription away. This is where I might be the asshole. I called her a little idiot. We don't use that sort of language in my house, and I never call people names, especially my own child. But at that moment, I could just see red. The hormone thing is a non-issue in my opinion, because this is the first time that I ever heard her wanting hormones. What was I supposed to do, go back in time? As for her birth control, it's also the first time I'm hearing anything about this. There are non-pill options that don't have estrogen. If that was her want, all she had to do was ask, and I would have driven her to the doctor myself, or she could have taken the car she has and done it. She has her own medical card even. Though to be fair, I don't know how she would have managed the copay without a job. I know for a fact her old high school gave out free condoms like candy because her friends were always giggling over flavored sample packs, and even blew a few of them up like balloons and left them around the house one time. She had all the birth control she could ever want and used none of it. It gets worse. We're way past the date of abortion. Again, I would have helped her if this had been her wish. We live in an abortion-protected state and can afford it. She's known she was pregnant since about 2 months and has come to think of her baby like a sibling. She expects me to raise it like it was mine. That this is my duty, in fact, because she says that it is my refusal to accept her non-binary state that led to her being pregnant. So she was going to get a brother or sister, and I was going to have another child. You can say my language grew sterner. Versions of get your head out of your ass and congratulations mummy, you have some hard decisions to make, and I said I would absolutely not raise her baby for her. She also refused to say who the father was. Now that I've cooled down, I'm really hoping she has a secret boyfriend. She does have some friends who were born male, but now also don't identify that way. We didn't even get there as I lost my mind when she said she thinks of her own baby as a sibling and wants me to raise it like my own child. Why have they repeated that one? Interesting. She locked herself in her room, loudly wailing. I feel like crap warmed over. She's been in there for 12 hours, and as she has an attached bathroom, probably won't be coming out until she gets hungry. Considering it's been half a day, I think she has snacks stored. I also don't know where to go from here. Being pregnant sucks and messes with your head, so I'd like to blame that and the fear that she must be feeling, but I have the bad feeling that I either raised a spoiled brat or someone with an emerging personality disorder. So I need to know from people who aren't emotionally involved, and maybe some people who are more in tune with this whole non-binary thing than I am. What do I do to help while also making her responsible for her own child? How can I help my daughter accept that she must do basically the most feminine thing you can do? Give birth, and possibly breastfeed, while being sensitive that she's non-binary. Am I just a big asshole here? Typing all this out, it feels like my daughter is lost in Crazy Town. I'm still not raising her baby, but at what point do I drag a legal adult to the hospital? Edit. You might disagree with my choices of wording, but I'm reporting people who call this bait. It's not. Edit 2. It's the middle of the night and she's decided to pack some of her clothes and stay with one of her friends. The one who I suspect is the baby daddy. Before she left, she told me that she already called the police and let them know that she was leaving of her own free will and was not in danger. Like I was going to report an 18-year-old adult as a runaway or something? It was insulting. I told her she needs to work out details if she wants to adopt with the father, and she was welcome back home when she had a plan in place. It was short because I heard her on the way out. I think she just meant to leave without saying anything. Thank you for your kind comments and advice, Reddit. I'm going to sleep. Well, let's see what the kind comments and advice was. In the comments, GND Flippard says, "Not the arsehole. I hate to say this, but I sincerely hope that OP's daughter chooses to give up this baby for adoption because she's a confused hot-ass mess. I don't blame OP for not wanting to step on the crazy train and raise the baby. Let's be honest, if OP says yes to raising this child as her own, it'll be the first of several. Daughter won't take birth control, so she'll continue to have unprotected sex and get pregnant. She decided a couple years ago that she's non-binary, expected her mother to understand that and know everything about it, and is now rewriting history to blame her mum for her now being pregnant. My head is swimming and she's not my daughter. There will be more babies." Oh, I absolutely agree. This girl will have spawned many more unfortunate little souls before she's through. I think one of OP's suspicions is right, and daughter has an emerging personality disorder or other mental illness. This is the age they usually crop up. In a way, I hope that's what it is, because if it is, say, bipolar, that hasn't been diagnosed yet, then there's something that can be done about it, and it's treatable. Not an easy road by any means, but still treatable. Daughter just being an effing idiot, on the other hand, not so treatable, unfortunately. I cannot fathom the mental gymnastics that it must have taken to blame OP for the pregnancy. OP is definitely not the asshole for any of this, but practically speaking, the daughter lives with OP, has no job, has no intention of getting a job, is due in 4 months, and cannot support a baby, financially or in any other way. OP is screwed. Other than throwing the daughter out, OP will be forced to look after the baby. Plus, the daughter openly stating "I'm pregnant with my sibling" is going to raise a whole bunch of other problems for OP. Hey, taken out of context, that's crazy. OP says, "I actually chuckled at that and I really needed it today, so thank you." That's crazy. Hey, I'm pregnant with my sibling. What? Excuse me? Non-binary here, OP. You are so not the asshole. I feel sympathy for your kid because they sound like they are so confused. Maybe have body dysmorphia and are now facing a life-altering situation with no way out. They must feel so trapped, so they turn on you. It's easier for them to yell and blame you instead of accepting responsibility. They are looking for a way out. We all keep changing and growing, and your kid is so young, they seem to not know who they are yet, and now they have to face looking after a baby when they know deep down they can't even really take care of themselves. But my god, the thing they did was really stupid, was chucking birth control away. That is actually wild. Your kid needs to learn the difference between gender-enforced stereotypes and actual biology. With biology, it unfortunately doesn't matter what gender you are. The biology doesn't care, it still works the same. They need to learn that and differentiate. Like I said, not the arsehole OP. What a shit situation. I hope it gets better. I really do. I'm gonna go see what the chat has to say. What are we thinking? What in the Alabama? What in the tarnation? Hello, hello. Yup, at birth control. Oh my god, the couch. You guys bringing up the couch. We can't see your face. I feel like can you not see my face, really? I feel like I can see this stream on YouTube. I can see my face. I don't know about you. How we going? How we going, gang? I'm back. I'm here to read your comments. Tell me what you think of this story. I'd love to know. I don't even know what to make of this kid's antics. I do feel like she needs to either actively go to therapy or needs to be 5150'd. Is that a mental health protection order over in the States? Because that's, you know, I can see an argument for that. Does this end with her in a Harley Quinn costume and a sword? Unfortunately, not this time. that would surprise me. Going to... Oh, no, why can't I scroll? Coming back up. I don't think she understands what her sexuality is. And I don't think that having a child will help her fix that either. She seems very immature and doesn't seem to be taking responsibility for any of her actions. She sounds delulu ASF. I agree, because what the hell was that? I'm just gonna tell the police that I'm actually just with a friend. You're 18! You're 18, my brother. You don't need to tell the police that. OP's not gonna come calling after you like you've been kidnapped. I feel horrible for the unborn child. They're gonna grow up in a world where they are unwanted at every angle. Absolutely, and I don't agree with having a baby in that instance, but, you know, the baby is going to come, it feels like, and good luck to that child. I hope that it does get the love and acceptance that it needs in this world, because I don't think the baby daddy is going to provide it. I'm just going to make an assumption there, and I don't think that OP's daughter is going to provide it, because she sounds very much unhinged. This whole story is a yikes from me. This whole story is a yikes from me too. If you choose to birth a child, you're responsible for that child. Anyone who is willing to raise the child on your behalf must volunteer, not be pressured into it. This is the issue with the whole non-binary movement. I 100% get feeling more feminine or more masculine, but if you got the organs to become pregnant, saying you're a guy is not going to stop it. I don't think that that's what exactly happened here. I don't think that they said that. I think they're just a wildly irresponsible person. I don't think that they just said, I'm non-binary, I can't get pregnant. I think this is just a, I'm non-binary and an idiot situation. I'm dizzy just thinking the aforementioned mental gymnastics. Thank you. I promise you as a non-binary person, this has less to do with being non-binary, more just straight up idiocracy. There you go, nail on the head right there. We only hear you out the back of the headphones right now. Oh my god. Have I screwed up my audio settings again? No, it's mono. It should be fine. It's mono again. I've not screwed up the audio setup, so I'm not sure what's going on with the back of your headphones. I'll check my audio input capture. Wait. Wait 1 second. What's my mics? It should be fine, right? It's not this microphone. No? I don't know then. I don't have the answer for your question there. The audio looks fine to me. Okay, thank you. Thank you for pointing it out, I appreciate that. 5150 is involuntary hospitalization. That doesn't sound fun. I wouldn't like to be involuntarily hospitalized. That would be a very bad time. It probably needs She does kind of sound delulu enough to need involuntary hospitalization at this point, though, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Let's do a vote. Let's do a vote, guys. Hospitalization needed. I'm doing a poll. Does she need a 5150? Yes or no? Start. What do we reckon, gang? Are we 5150ing this girl? Oh, God, it's on the screen here. God. I'm going to read it from the YouTube now. Definitely something deeper going on mentally. Maybe she's just realizing how much she effed up and needs her mum to fix it. If she thought that, though, you'd think that she wouldn't do what she's done and run away. You'd think that she'd go use her words, but maybe she's not as, I guess, mature as we'd like to think she could be in a situation being like, hey, I fucked up. I'm an idiot. Can you help me out, please? But it seems to be, I'm not an idiot. This is actually your fault. I didn't have control of my actions. Here's something to lighten the mood. I saw two birds chilling and someone tossed a chip next to them. The bird tasted it and looked at each other slowly before fighting over it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's crazy. The daughter needs therapy, definitely. 5150 is involuntary. Yes. If we took the NB part out, the kid is still delusional. Oh, absolutely. Completely delusional. Definitely something deeply going. How much she effed up? Yep. How she blamed her mother insanely delulily, for real. So someone who is being in danger to either themselves or others qualifies for a 5150 hold. They are taken into a psych facility and given emergency treatments until they stabilize. Though, I guess, what's the argument for the 5150 here? I know she's crazy, but can anyone put into like solid terms what she's doing that definitely, like, what would I say to the paramedics on the phone to be like, she needs a 5150. What's a solid case that I can give? I'd like to know from you guys. I need to appeal to authority. Love your channel, Markee. Thanks for all the hard work. Oh, Arnold and Tara, thank you guys so much. I very much appreciate that. Thank you. Was this kid ever told no? It sounds like they spoiled the kid and gave her everything she asked for. She never struggled and makes herself a victim because that's how she got everything she wanted. Yeah. Sounds like it to me. Get yourselves a social worker. This level of confusion could morph into a CPS case. Adoption seems like the only choice here. I agree with you there. She's a literal danger to her child. She wants to abandon it, honey. Yes, but she wants to abandon it to OP. Is that a case enough for a 5150 hold, though? I feel like it's hard to argue that. Just because she's said and done all of this, I don't think it's enough concrete proof, right? As the daughter of a psychiatrist, again, handful of salt, I don't think she's far enough for involuntary hold. Yeah, I don't think so either. Here's a 2 a.m. thunderstorm. This is the coziest stream ever. Thank you, Mary Stein. I appreciate that you think the stream is so cozy. Thank you for being here. Potential for self-harm or harm to the unborn child. I can agree with that one there. I can agree with that. She's a threat to herself and the unborn child. I'm feeling some narcissistic vibes there too. Child abandonment is a 5150 case. She hasn't abandoned the child yet, though. That's why I feel like it's hard, because the child is still with her. She's not abandoned it yet. She physically can't abandon the child. She's pregnant woman saying some concerning things and a possible risk to herself and the child with her actions. It's pretty hard to automatically get an adult a 5150. It's easy for minors if you're their guardian, but for adults, the paramedics and police would decide themselves based on your statement and seeing. She thinks she's pregnant with her sibling and is not experiencing reality. That's a case that I can think right there. Which I'm like, yeah, she thinks she's pregnant with her sibling. That's crazy. If we can get some voice recordings of that, I feel like that's a good one to be like, listen back to this shit. Listen, what she's just said, she's pregnant with her sibling. Is that the ramblings of a normal person to you? She's not a danger to anyone just yet. She might just be to herself with the extreme level of sexuality confusion, but even then they'll just say mandatory therapy. I agree with that. Involuntary inpatient in the USA is 72 hours, then they decide what to do from there. Does anyone think that it happened on purpose? That she got pregnant to continue the free ride? I think that's very good. I do agree with that. I think she potentially just got pregnant so that she doesn't have to go back to university and do any of this. She can just keep living the good, easy life. I can agree with that statement. She isn't saying that she's going to hurt the child or herself. She has She has a plan to give birth. That too. If the person is actively making threats to themselves or to others, that could be grounds for a 5150. She's getting close to a 5150 if she can't figure out her sexuality and acceptance. You look at the case with the YouTuber McSkillet. His parents tried to get him 5150'd. The cops were literally at their house and did nothing. They told the kid to suck it up and left. McSkillet then rammed his dad's car out of the way and drove at high speeds down a highway, crashed and killed a mum and her daughter. And that's exactly what I was thinking here with situations like that, where it's like, how are you going to give undeniable proof within the bounds of a 5150 case and the cops and them actually taking you seriously? They will find any reason to be like, sorry, it's a civil matter, you guys deal with it, and then someone dies. That's crazy. I think she's just pregnant with her sibling to manipulate her mother. That's the thing, but you can clip someone saying, I'm pregnant with our sibling, to be like, look at that, she's crazy, she's out of touch. Every time I hear that, Sweet Home Alabama. She doesn't literally think she's pregnant with her sibling. The psychiatrist will have a conversation with her, recommend therapy perhaps, and other services. Had McSkillet been 5150'd, he would have gotten the help he needed. Those two innocent people would not have died. Yeah, it's just one of those situations where it's so hard to get that help, because just the ability to get someone 5150'd is so impossible unless they do something so unhinged. I don't know what there's two updates to this. I'm interested to see what happens. I'm going to read the rest of the comments that I can read right now, and yeah, you can clip it. They will be released. True. Yep. It is what it is. I'll try and get through the rest of these comments. Obviously, there's so many of them. I'm not going to read every comment. I'm going to read the ones that I like. Comment favoritism by Markee. Not the arsehole. Your child is, in fact, a little idiot with behavior that would be an absolute nightmare had you not been their parent. Also, birth control isn't a form of feminization, it's a form of responsibility when you're born in a body with a uterus and want to have sex that can result in pregnancy. OP says, ugh, I wish I had these words when she hit me with that one. I sort of sputtered for a few minutes. She debate-lorded you. She absolutely debate-lorded you. It's hard to think perfectly in these moments. I'm not sure if you would have had a constructive conversation with her when she calms down, considering the lack of accountability. Sitting down with a third party, like a therapist, seems essential, to go over what the real options are in this situation. Adoption is an option if she truly isn't ready. This is not her sibling. Exactly. I think OP needs to put her foot down and tell her daughter that she either needs to take responsibility for the baby, or the baby will go up for adoption. I know it's not an ideal situation, but this entire thing isn't either. Couldn't agree more with that. This is a terribly not ideal situation. I hope that drinking noise isn't too severe. I can drink this away from the microphone. Not the arsehole. Even if she is non-binary and doesn't want to take hormonal birth control, lots of cis women don't like hormonal birth control either. Too many side effects. But did she know a wonderful thing that's called condoms? Available everywhere, easy to use, safe for pregnancy and diseases. She still has a vagina. Whether the gender she identifies with and accepting a penis inside it without birth control means risking getting pregnant. Whatever the gender... Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. That read wrong. Whatever the gender she identifies with, and accepting a penis without birth control means risking getting pregnant. For real, for real. Apparently your daughter expected you to somehow read her mind. It's sad she doesn't appreciate everything you've done for her, and only wants to have more and more from you. Also, she's an adult now, and should take the responsibility for her own child by herself. I'm sure you'll be there for her anyway when she gives birth. You were her mum after all, and hopefully she'll grow up and understand what was wrong with her behavior. OP says, thanks. It's hard because a part of me does want to step in and make it go away, but wow, she has dug herself into a deep, deep hole. I'm still reeling emotionally. She may consider adoption. She waited this long figuring that you wouldn't say no. Stand your ground, it'll be hard, but the adult acts have adult consequences. You gave her the means to avoid this, and if she keeps it, only babysit as much as a normal grandmother would. It's her child. She needs to make some tough decisions, not the arsehole. Yeah, I think potentially adoption is the only way forward in a situation like this, and I wish them the best of luck with that one. That's not an easy one either. So this is... okay. Second update. And I don't think that there's a third update, but we can check. Yeah, that's the latest one. No third updates. Okay. What else have you guys said? Wow. ASMR drinking. Send it, lol. Minecraft swallows. Okay, I'll hit the mic/aux mute whenever I swallow, okay? Perfect. Livestream/ASMR bonus combo. This feels a bit like a weaponized incompetence. I very much agree with you there. It does seem like she is weaponizing her own incompetence, being like, hey, I screwed up and now it's you're gonna fix this for us, because I suck. And now, onto the update. Hi, this is an update to this post. Long story short, my 18-year-old non-binary daughter wanted me to raise her baby, and she told me she thinks of the baby as her sibling. We had a blowout, she locked herself in her room for most of a day, and then took off with her friends/her lover. Oh, confirmed, hey? So this happened a few days ago, but I didn't update it because I needed to get my head around it. It still doesn't make sense. Daughter finally unblocked me. She and the person who got her pregnant wanted to talk to me at a public place. We chose IHOP. Although I suspected that I knew who her lover was, I was disappointed to find out because they'd been a part of my daughter's friend group since high school and was the only one that I ever had a problem with and kicked out of my house. Not good, very bad. The only one to have a problem with and you're pregnant with them. Thank you for keeping them in your life for that amount of time. This is going to go well. This is going to go well in the future, guys. They are trans now, but 2 years ago the friend group was watching a movie in the living room, and every time I'd pass by, he, as he was a he then, would lock eyes with me and make really loud, obnoxious orgasm sounds like that scene in Harry Met Sally. I told him to knock it off and grew sterner when he did it again. Then, when I was in the kitchen, he somehow snuck up behind me and was miming jack-off movements with his hand. I turned around and caught him at it. He was still fully clothed, but it was startling and freaky. I kicked him out. I don't like this person. I don't like them. This is just bad news. Terrible. So now I'll just call them sperm donor, because that's what they are. I'm still calling my daughter, and she, because I still haven't been told not to by her otherwise. So get off my case on that. Anyway, the IHOP meeting was a shit show. Surprise, I'm surprised. Sperm donor sat with my daughter and went on the attack. Sperm donor's points were, 1, that I was poisoning my daughter by making her take birth control. I only helped her get the prescription and would have done everything I could if I knew that she didn't want to take the pill. There are other methods. 2, it will take years to fix my daughter after all I did. Not giving her hormones, even though I had no idea that that was what she wanted. She dropped even wanting to change her pronouns after a few weeks. 3, abortion is a sin, and I'm a monster for suggesting it. It's past the date anyway. Okay. You're the religious one here too, buddy. Okay. I am further abusing her by not taking care of the baby while she fixes herself. I guess they meant it as a temporary situation, which was also news to me. So apparently, even though I'm an abusive mother, an abusive monster, a bad mother, and so on, I'm even worse for not taking in their baby. At least no one suggested that I raised it like my daughter's sister anymore. That might have been my daughter's thought on it. Sperm donor did most of the talking while my daughter just sat there and glared at me, nodding along. It was kind of a whirlwind. Sperm donor pounded the table a few times, and even the waiter knew not to bother us after drinks, lol. I'm surprised we weren't asked to leave. There was a lot said, mostly by the sperm donor, who really seemed to be steering the ship. I asked why sperm donor couldn't take care of the baby, and sperm donor said that his parents were even worse than me. I guess my daughter and sperm donor taking care of the child they created is out of the question. Yeah, we created this child and we're not going to be raising it. You're going to be raising it. I told them that I would not be raising their baby for them, and that adoption is the best bet. They said that if I don't agree to raise it, they'll make sure that I'll never see the baby ever. I won't raise their child for them, so that's that, I guess. I feel so many flavors of worried and angry, and then worried all over again. I've been around the block, and it's never a great sign when the person you're with makes an enemy of your family. That's what sperm donor has done by painting me as an abuser and a failed mother who also won't take in their baby. Sounds like sperm donor has cut themselves off from their own family too. So I'm worried that my daughter is in a very controlling relationship with someone who convinced her to stop birth control because they think hormones are too feminizing somehow and that she needs to be fixed. But they still want me to raise their baby. And then baby number 2, and then baby number 3, and you get the point. It's just not going to stop from there. I'm angry that my daughter can't just hear this crap and not... I'm angry that my daughter can just hear this crap and nod along like, yeah, that makes total sense. She's not stupid. I just think that she's love-blinded. I'm sad and worried for the baby. A couple commenters suggested that I wanted nothing to do with the baby because I wouldn't agree to raise it as my own. No. In a perfect world, I would want a normal grandmotherly relationship, or at least know that the child is safe and has been adopted into a loving family. I don't care what my daughter does with her gender or her body, as long as she doesn't hurt herself. I want her to be in a happy relationship with someone who values her for who she is. Sperm donor kept using the word fix, which I see as another terrible sign. It's bad all around. My house is empty, it feels like my adult daughter has run off to join some weird church or cult thing who tells her that upside is down. That not using birth control and not getting an abortion and then expecting others to take care of the child is all a-okay. Oh, and that she's a problem and needs to be fixed. I texted her and said that I would be there for her, but sperm donor was still not welcome in the house. I think I'm blocked again. She's a legal adult. I'm not sure what else I can do at this point. In my low points, part of me thinks maybe I should agree to take the baby and then immediately make sure that it's adopted into a loving home, but I get the feeling that sperm donor won't make that easy. And right now, my daughter does what he says. Also, I'm not sure if that plan is even possible. It sounds too Hollywood-esque. I have an appointment to speak with a counselor, but the soonest I could get is April. Some of my friends think that I should take the baby in, either to get them away from the parents, or because they think that it's my duty, or both. The only silver lining in this was that they both seemed sober. I don't think there's drugs involved. Am I reading this wrong? Am I the arsehole here? I don't know, for me it seems like there's drugs involved, because this seems like a typical drugs involved kind of situation. She's not stupid, I think she's love-blinded, I think she's a mix of both. I think this situation just sucks. I think this situation is just really bad. I wouldn't know what to do if I was OP in this situation. I'd want to curl up in a ball and cry and be like, God, why me? Why'd you give me your hardest challenges? Can't I just have a normal life? 1 second. In the comments, Tanim44 says, for your safety, I would change the locks and put up a camera. Sperm donor seems unhinged. I'm a firm believer in better safe than sorry. This baby will be used as a pawn in his never-ending psychodrama. If they do not and cannot raise their baby, the best solution is adoption. Otherwise, the father will make your life a living hell. OP says, I couldn't figure out a polite way of saying this, but yes. That is my suspicion if I take in their baby. Sperm donor implied that it would be temporary while earlier my daughter said that it would be permanent. I think sperm donor will refuse to sign over paperwork when the time comes or try to leverage it in some way. Sperm donor sounds like a manipulative asshole and will use anyone at their disposal. SD is the one pulling all the strings here. Yeah, I don't think there is going to be a good solution by continuing to have sperm donor involved, but legally I don't think you can remove sperm donor from this situation. I agree with everything you said here. Also, my OCD soul is crying with relief and gratitude for you, the kind soul who managed to finally interject with proper spelling of donor in the thread. Thank you. That's an interesting point to make. So, their argument is that 1. You're a terrible parent, 2. Their morals don't allow for a termination, which is too late anyway, but do allow for child abandonment. That's an interesting point. 3. They know how to parent better than you do by telling you all the things that you did wrong, and 4. Take care of their child until they decide they want it back. If you're such a terrible parent, why would they want you to raise their child? Wouldn't adoption be a better option? What they're hoping for is to put the baby on a layaway and come pick it up whenever they feel like it. They can't do that with an adoption. Jesus. Oh my god. I didn't leave the mic on for that one, did I? Oh my god. I did leave the mic on. Sperm donor needs to stop donating and keep himself a little bit. Yeah, I agree with that statement. Jesus. Okay. Logic is entirely out of whack here. The contradictions are rampant. Abortion is wrong, sounds religious/right. Gender choices are okay, not religious/left. Child abandonment is okay. OP should have anticipated HRT. Fortune teller? OP should not have gotten birth control. Bad fortune teller, etc. Confusing. Sperm donor is insane, but hey, it's all justified because as a parent, the OP is the lesser of two evils. Not the arsehole. I don't like this. Throw premarital sex in there too. I feel awful for OP. Sperm donor convinces OP's daughter that her parent is poisoning her with birth control, but also that the baby is now their responsibility. I hope sperm donor's awakening is spectacularly rude. Also, I love how taking birth control is too effeminate, but having a whole-assed effing baby, the most female thing possible, is just totally fine. This is my first thought too. Not just the most female thing to do, but it permanently changes your body. Boobs, hips, stretch marks, breastfeeding, and hormones that change everything dramatically. I hope she sees different when her brain is flooded with oxytocin after birth, and she decides to take care of her baby. We'll see. Maybe it's being 5 months pregnant myself, but this cognitive dissonance blows my mind and pisses me off. Most trans men get very dysphoric at the thought of pregnancy and birth, or even menstruation. The thought of her being okay with all of that, but not birth control, is some serious mental gymnastics. Sperm donor has for sure put some weird ideas of how this whole process was going to go in her head. Well, of course it would. You have to be doing some extreme denial of biology and mental compartmentalizing for it not to. I think OP's kid is just an asshole mostly, who uses gender as a stick to beat people with and avoid adult responsibilities. Not the asshole. Seems to me that sperm donor may be trying to isolate daughter from her family, also saying that she needs to be fixed. Abuse signs everywhere here. You can be there as a safe place if one day your daughter sees the light, but in the meantime, please take care of yourself. Not the asshole. It sounds like your daughter is in an abusive relationship with this person. Sorry your daughter has been brainwashed by this crazy person. I would definitely contact this sperm donor's family, and if they seem sane, warn them about how crazy both of them spoke to you. OP replies, that's my fear, and not a bad idea to contact sperm donor's parents. This has all happened so far. I feel like I'm in shock and I'm very worried. What do you guys have to say? I would like to hear from the community. Hello gang, hello gang. What are we up to? So I remember I was here before with this. Fixed is definitely a concerning term. That is, yeah, that's crazy. I should be at school, but I decided to watch your stream instead. Welcome, Cookie Crumbs. Thank you for watching. Seems like the partner is a piece of shit. Poor OP. Definitely drugs. Yeah, if there aren't any drugs involved, I will be shocked. This sounds like drug behavior. OP might get the CPS involved if possible, but all I know is this isn't ending well at all. This potentially looks like it's ending in the child is getting abandoned one way or another. The daughter sounds like she's being the victim. She likes being the victim. The boyfriend sounds like a control freak, and I feel bad for the parent who's trying their best. It sounds like her partner's in at least some sort of psychosis, and she's just going along with it. This story is putting me into a psychosis, I won't lie. I want to bang my head against the desk. Santa Maria, what a shit show! I hope they all get help and heal. Agree, Victor, the lack of logic is giving drug usage. Daughter sounds lost, easily persuaded, and just a bad deal. Couldn't agree more. That's true, I did. I did leave the mic on. Just none of what she said made any sense, and is insanely delusional. He's definitely not fully mentally sound. He needs to stop donating and keep to himself a little bit. He is starting a cult, yes. I should be in school, but decided... Well, thank you for the comment again. I have absolutely no words to say. This is beyond insane. Markee joins Water Talk? I'm out. What's so good about Water Talk? Kind of just starves it. Yeah, it's true. That's why I weigh nothing now. He starved me. Sperm Donor's been trying to isolate OP's daughter for a long time. On a positive note, on one of the past streams I said that I was stressed about an important test that most people fail, and I didn't study for. After months I learned I passed. Congratulations, that one, Arrow Ace. I'm glad to hear that. I don't remember you saying that comment, but I'm glad to see that you passed, so good job. Sperm Donor is definitely manipulating OP's daughter, and specifically, she comes to her senses soon, or else she's going to look back after years and say, I wish I had listened to my mum about him. But unfortunately, she's rolling in the deep right now. It's not a good time for her. I don't think that she's going to do that soon. I think that's going to come maybe in a decade, and once she gets out of the haze. If he drinks the literal Water Talk Kool-Aid, there's no hope for him. I'm not gonna make that demonic concoction that guy calls water. It's soda at that point. It's just fizzy water. It's not. He just puts like jugs of sugar into that thing. It's like, let's go make it purple, let's make it blue. Guys, here's my water. I don't know about all that. He's crazy. I don't know about that guy. I'm not doing Water Talk. I'd like to stay relatively sane, thank you very much. This is not ending well at all. TikTok sounds like an elderly dating site. You guys are your TikToks. There aren't any drugs involved. There should be. There should be some 5150s and some good drugs to keep people mentally sane, I think. The daughter is 18. How old is Sperm Donor? Probably the same age, given that they were hanging out together as teenagers. Especially the daughter is 5 months pregnant. The Sperm Donor was one of the daughter's friends, so it could be the same age, a year or two apart. Yeah, similar age. Don't forget to like this stream, guys. Don't forget to like this stream. Whoa. Smiley face. I think I can click those. God, I keep doing this every time. I hate that. Again, assumption, but I feel like the mother would have mentioned if there was an age issue. Yeah, I do think that she would have mentioned if there was an age issue in this one. So I don't think there is an age gap or anything like that is appropriate here. I think that one is relatively by the books in a situation like this, though everything else is not cool. Everything else sucks. Everything else is not awesome. Okay, final update, 8 days ago. So, I posted another update in the comments a while back. It's on my account. Basically, my pregnant stepdaughter shut me out of her life completely, and rumor had it that she was living in a homeless camp with her weirdo lover out in the woods. It's a huge place, and me and friends searched a few times, but weren't able to find her. That's really bad. Don't like that. Don't like the sound of that. It's also dangerous because there aren't laws out there, and the homeless shoot at ATV riders and hikers and send dogs after people who come too close to what they consider their territory. Oh my god. To be clear, I don't think my daughter was a part of that group. The camp is huge and full of meth addicts, sex traffickers, and drug labs. Anyways, the full story is on my account if you care. I did contact Sperm Donor's parents, and they have all but disowned him after very much the same disturbing behavior I outlined earlier, only geared towards their younger siblings. So that sucks. Did I miss something? Sorry, I remember seeing how just gigantic this thing was, so I feel like I missed something here. I just want to find that. I've written this down. Should I feel like I should have been reading through these ones as well. So this is the update, February. Sorry guys, if I'm going off track a little bit here, but I feel like this is it, right? This is the update. Okay, this is what I'm missing. I'm just going to read these comments. I'm just going to read this comment and everything else after that first, before I get into that. Pretty wild that a trans person is saying that abortion is a sin. None of this is anything like what you're going to hear from any healthy LGBT community who are quite careful to make sure not to support people in delusional or antisocial behavior. Definitely get therapy. Sounds like your kid has some serious mental health problems if they're being influenced by whatever wackos put these ideas into their head. You're going to need support in coping with this madness. Not the asshole by a country mile. You're in no way abusing your kid by refusing to take responsibility for their bad choices. OP's response, thank you and yes. I don't want to minimize my daughter's role in it, but the hard anti-abortion thing surprised me too. A lot of what they said contradicted itself. It felt like I was sitting across from two people who were in their own wacko bubble. Again, I'd be surprised if there wasn't drugs involved. I know it's not an LGBT thing. I wish someone from their community would knock some sense into them if it's even possible at this point. Which I highly doubt that it's possible at this point. I don't think anyone can really do anything about that. OP left an update in a comment. So, I logged in and received a large amount of requests for an update. Unfortunately, I do not have one. I have not seen or heard from my daughter since the last meeting, and I believe she has changed her phone number. Our community isn't a large one, and I've heard through the grapevine that she is staying with a sperm donor in one of the homeless camps out in the woods. As this is a haven for drugs and sex trafficking, this is a further concern. From what I've heard, she is pregnant. What? Is that you're just finding that out now after two stories about her being pregnant? What? Is she pregnant again? Myself and a few friends and family members have driven through the camp area a few times on the lookout for her, but it's very large and there aren't exactly marked roads. Also, recently other people have been shot at while walking their dogs around there or riding ATVs. So every time we go, it's a risk. So that's it. I'm stuck hoping that she's safe and under some kind of shelter. There's a lot of plywood houses and broken down RVs out there, and waiting to hear news when she has the baby. Yes, CPS and the local police are aware of my concerns. I'm worried the child will be born addicted to drugs because I don't know anyone who doesn't live out there who isn't a meth head. Thanks for your concern, all. I'm unsure what I'll do when the baby is born. I might have to take in the baby after all, just to make sure that it doesn't live in that camp, and it may make me the asshole, but I'm looking forward to the hard work and drama that will come with it. I don't think that makes you the asshole. I think that means that makes you a compassionate person, and thank you for that. Voice is going out a little bit, so just gonna fill up my water, have a little break, have a strepsil. I'll be back in 2 minutes, just so I can recover my voice, because I've been talking for like an hour straight, haven't I? I'll be right back, gang. I believe she's pregnant? Yeah, that's so funny. Oh my god. Give me a sec. Okay. Just while I get this lozenge down, let's see what you guys have to say. What have we been thinking of this story so far, gang? Crank the music up. I would crank music while I'm away, but I don't want to get done for like that Markee complicated remix on repeat. Is it really worth it for like a 2-minute break though? I don't know about all that. How much of an impact does it really have? You guys can't just chill out for like 2 seconds? I'm also having strepsils as well. I don't know how to spell. Leave me alone. Now you got it right. Strepsils are great. Am I the asshole for thinking my pregnant daughter might be pregnant? That's crazy, huh? Sounds like she's possibly fallen victim to a cult of sex trafficking. Her boyfriend is isolating her from her family. She's being delusional. It doesn't sound like a good time. This does not sound like a fun thing to be a part of. Punctuation mark missing there. What was there a punctuation mark missing on? Put that Markee complicated remix on repeat. What's my complicated remix? I like organ flavor personally. Organ flavor? Organe? What's Organe? Coming soon to a relationship advice subreddit near you. My pregnant daughter is pregnant? More likely they haven't aborted. I'm gonna think that they haven't. I'm at work just after 9 AM on Tuesday here. On a Tuesday? It's a Tuesday, bruv. What are you? You're in bloody South Australia, or probably the Northern Territory, innit? Let's see. Orange. Organ? Yeah, you're in the ACT. Spied you there. Drawing at 8 PM on a Monday. Found ya. I got your whereabouts, Layla Pereira. I'm coming after you now, mate. Fellow Australian spotted. Okay. She's pregnant, but she is pregnant. True. For real. We need to be constantly stimulated. We can't just chill out. I'm not allowed to stop talking. Orange strepsils. Mine are purple strepsils. Look at them purple strepsils, guys. They're good for you. The extra lozenges, the extra blackcurrant strepsils are so good. They're the only ones I'll ever have. They're beautiful. They're the best strepsils. I'd like to flex that the accent was cringe. Okay. Whatever. I don't care. I blame Couch. Couch it again. When you sang Avril Lavigne complicated with funny lyrics. I don't remember doing that, but thank you. Thank you for remembering that. That accent was cringe. Abortion is a sin. Remember, not abuse apparently though. No. I've been late. I've always made it. That you guys always here. I think the moderator that's supposed to be here is going to be upset that they missed a stream. That's for sure. Guys, I'm probably be harassed for forgetting her name. I'm so sorry for this one. I'm gonna have to commit seppuku for this one. What? Oh God, I'm just gonna look it up real quick so I don't get in trouble. Channel members, Epic Zoe, that's the one. Guys, where is Epic Zoe? Can someone tell me where Epic Zoe has gone? Where is she? Where's Epic Zoe? Get Epic Zoe back here. Oh no, Epic Zoe. Says Markee blue strepsils are better? Disagree. I'm in Taiwan actually. Oh, okay. My bad, sorry about that. Fellow Aussie not spotted. Thank you for watching from Taiwan. Is not a name, sir. Justice for Epic Zoe. We're missing Epic Zoe today, guys. This is terrible. What will we do? Okay, 20 people just left as I was doing this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I went off track, guys. I'll get back to the story now. Okay. Second update. Where were we? So, back to the new news. Okay. All this shook out a couple of weeks ago, but I hesitated to post because of my own emotions and the fact that I know Reddit will be all over my ass for the deep anger, shame, and disappointment that I have for my own daughter. I came home from grocery shopping to find a strange pregnant woman at my door. That woman used to be my daughter, but she had changed so much that she was like a stranger. She chatters constantly so you can't get a word in, she has several small face tattoos, and forgive me for saying this, she looks like she's aged 20 years. She had been living rough. She was angry that I locked her out. I changed the locks after she left, and basically expected to move back into her old room with no problem, like it was just another day from back in the winter when she lived here. Of course, I wasn't going to turn her away, so I guess in a way she was right. She was living in the homeless camp with the sperm donor, and I insisted she take a shower because it looked like she hadn't since she left. She also stank bad. She had no shame about blocking my number or what she put me through by disappearing. All she wanted to talk about was the grand fate that she and the sperm donor were building, that they're building a community of new people, and she went on and on that they're building a community of new people, and she went on and on and on without mentioning the baby once. I don't know how anyone can stand them, but sperm donor has multiple partners, and my daughter is one of them, and is perfectly happy being his broodmare. The broodmare is my verbiage. Hers is much more royal. Frankly, based on what she overshared, sperm donor seems like a complete sex fiend. Finally, I broke in and asked what she said. I gotta burp 1 second. Finally, I broke in and asked, and she said that she had been to the doctor regularly. That was a lie, found out later, and all is well with the baby. At this point I knew she had to be on drugs. If she was awake, she was talking, and none of what she said had an end or a point. Also, a lot was from Crazy Town. What I got from her was that again, she and several other ladies, and men somehow, oh, men too, were to carry the next generation of new people. Yes, the men. Yes, biological men. Sperm donor was sort of in the middle of the wheel with the spokes, was how she described it. I've met him before, and I'm surprised that she was able to get one girlfriend, much less whatever grouping is going on now. This is a wild paragraph. Oh my god. That's insane. Of course drugs were involved. Am I silly? Anyway, sometimes she said she wanted to keep the baby, though she wouldn't tell me a plan to take care of it and house it. I think she expected to stay with me, and sometimes she wanted to adopt it out, but not for the good of the baby, but to spread the new people. This part is going to upset the internet, but the new people are apparently without gender expectations, and that was why she didn't know the baby's gender yet. Oh yeah, and also some of the wheel, her group, were empathetic and they could communicate their feelings through the other worlds. As a house guest, she was the absolute worst. It was like she had gone feral out in the camp and clean up after herself to the point where, and she couldn't clean up after herself, to the point where she mostly didn't even flush the toilet after using it. She ate everything, which was to be expected, but never cleaned up after herself, and kept asking, as asking is too mild of a word, she demanded for me to take her out to restaurants. I did a couple of times because I missed her and was trying to make a connection, but then once afterward took her to the store to get baby supplies, and she was weirdly detached, sort of picked up the first thing she saw on the shelf, and all the while it was yak 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 about her true family of new people and their grand fate. Anyway, I finally got out of her that she was expected the baby in mid-July, which put her outside the time frame she originally gave me. I had it on my calendar. I was obsessed with the possible due date because I didn't know if I was going to find a baby on my doorstep or what. And yes, she was under the care of a doctor, both lies. Getting her to focus on one subject was impossible. She would only stop talking long enough to take a breath, and only listen long enough for you to stop for your own before she'd launch into a new thing. Usually around sperm donor, who she loved, but was nowhere in sight and was chilling back at the camp with the rest of his breeding stock or whatever. Basically, I was waiting for her to come down off of whatever high she was on when she went into full-blown labor. Oh, great. How can this get any better? It was a complete shit show. She was having pains, but her water hadn't broken yet. At the hospital, it came out that she had not been to the doctor once for the baby. There are programs in our state that cover pregnancies, so that put her at high risk, so she was admitted immediately. That's when the switch flipped, and she became hateful against nurses and doctors. She said the worst things, and they were absolute saints in return. She also had, delusions of grandeur, and told them that she was their queen, and accused them of trying to punish her. It was so wild. I can't even describe the monster she became. So hateful, racist, vicious, and the worst things you can say to people, she said them. She wasn't in hard labor yet, so it wasn't entirely the pain. I pulled one nurse aside and told her that she had been living where she had been living, and that I suspected drugs, though I hadn't caught her using yet. They were so professional and gave her painkillers that helped her mood. Not gonna lie, they doped her up because she was acting wild. Imagine my surprise when her blood work came out clean. I'm surprised. I wasn't there for the birth because she didn't want me in the room with her, and heaven help me, I was a little relieved because I was ashamed of her behavior, but I did talk to a social worker on staff to let them know everything I did. The lady was very nice, but couldn't speculate officially on my daughter's mental state. I said she had to be bipolar or manic or something because her behavior was not normal. But she asked if she had threatened to kill herself or harm the baby, and she hadn't. They can't step in until there's a threat. That's like the 5150 thing then, right? They can't really do anything until they have solid proof. Miraculously, the child was born at a good weight and healthy and not addicted. I don't want to give too much info on them because the internet is forever, and one day they may search for their own past. My daughter lucked out big time and had a normal delivery as things went. She didn't give sperm donor's name out as the father, though I did to the social worker. They can't be put on the birth certificate on my word. She up and left her baby that evening without officially checking out, without saying goodbye to me or her newborn, because the hospital is a safe surrender point. She won't be charged for abandonment. CPS asked if I wanted to take the child, and though it tore me up, I said no. There are a lot of reasons for why. A big one is that I don't want to be held hostage to my daughter's whims, and especially sperm donor. I don't want to be the one on the hook for more children which are likely coming. Also, look at my daughter. I did my best, and she still turned out this way. Maybe I shouldn't try again. I knew getting a new family is almost the best thing that could have happened for the baby, even with problems with the foster system. It has to be better than the camp. But I feel like dog shit about it even now. I also suspect they'll have a sibling soon, as my daughter can arrange it. I also suspect they'll have a sibling as soon as my daughter can arrange it. I know my daughter is not well. I know she's in a cult, and probably in danger, and also probably an abuser herself, based on the stories she casually dropped about other members. She is also a selfish liar, and it's luck or the grace of God or what have you that her baby was born healthy. She is rolling the dice on her life and the life of her future children. She is sick and under a sex fiend's control, and now thinks that she has magic thought powers. But she has some responsibility in this too. All the rest of the transgender stuff with her lover, and if she is non-binary or not from the past, does not matter. She is an adult and making some bad choices. It's hard for me to type out, but the way she treated the hospital staff was so cruel. Seriously, I had to use a thesaurus to describe it because I can't even fully describe how bad it was. It showed me that whatever else, she thinks other people are below her. It's more than the mania. Yes, I'm just there to serve her whenever she sees fit. She knew she would be giving birth soon, so she came home and expected me to take care of her. I did, of course, because she was 9 months pregnant, and the second she didn't have any more need of me or the baby she had just given birth to, it was easy to take off again. I listened to her for days, and she expressed no feelings of hope for the baby other than a vehicle to spread their movements. No worry about their future life, and no more comments on me raising them as a sibling. She made the choice to leave and go back to sperm donors' harem. Yeah, harem, right? Or wheel, or whatever. Sick or not, I'm ashamed to have raised someone with these kinds of values. Mentally ill people are not bad people, but she's gone beyond merely bad choices. I haven't totally written her off, and she may come back to sanity, but since all indicators are that I'm blocked again, I'm going to think long and hard about boundaries and possibly moving. I'm worried about one day finding out a bunch of culty weirdos on my porch. So that's it. I don't know what to do. It's not like I have the resources to pay someone to deprogram my daughter, and that sounds very Hollywood. I need a realistic goal. It's more than just a cult. She needs a checkup from the neck up, and I don't have the legal standing to do anything. At least the baby is safe. That is the one bright spot. Thoughts are welcome, and forgive me, any realistic suggestions, or just tell me if I'm way off base and I'm the asshole here. This has been a hell of a year and such a spiral. A year ago, I had a somewhat of a slacker teenager under my roof, and now all of this. I don't think that there is anything that you can do. I think this is what you do. That's what you do. In the comments, AP Cicada says, I don't care how Americans say cicada. Maybe you should move. She's gonna show up looking for the baby someday. I bet she assumed that you'd take it home. Good on you for making the rough choice and letting it have a better chance at life. But you need to look out for you too. This OP, she assumed that you would take the baby, and in her next manic phase, she will come back looking for it. You need to ensure that you are protected at all costs. She'll come back again and again, pregnant each time, and expect OP to deal with the craziness and raise the new people offspring. And maybe, God forbid, bring some of the harem for OP to take care of. She's an adult, and though obviously crazy, hasn't been diagnosed with any disorder, so not much can be done. But OP should not let herself be dragged down into the abyss. A chilling thought, OP does not want to come home one day to find her daughter brought the shit show harem home with her and find sperm donor enthroned in her home. Hard. Very harsh one, but what else can you do in a situation like this? What can you do? She's done so much damage. Move and block her number in return. OP, you've done your best by her. Some people are just mentally ill, and we can pour our hearts and souls into them, but they still won't get better or normal. At this point, you are absolutely justified in giving up on her and saving yourself from future accusations and heartache. Move, be very careful about whom you give your new address to. It shouldn't be anyone who would pass it on to your daughter. Make sure everyone who knows where you are also knows that your daughter went completely off the rocker, and that if she ever shows up and wants contact, just to call you and not give her your address. I wish you all the best. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. You did better than the baby. You did better for the baby than you realize. Through the anonymity of an adoption, it will be more difficult for your daughter or sperm donor to find the baby. By giving them a new life where even you don't know where they are, you've done them a great service. You did good. Oh, and just for context, I'm adopted with no information about my progenitors. I love my family and am well loved by them. OP says, thank you for this. It helps to hear of happy adoption stories. Though I have guilt, I also have hope because the baby is a newborn, healthy, and should be placed easily. I was a birth mother, and my kid had a great life. It's a really good choice. You know what else would be a good choice? Selling your house and moving out of state ASAP, and getting cameras in the new place just in case. You simply cannot be too careful when it comes to cults. It does sound like the Manson family. I sort of remember your previous posts, and all I can say is, you're not the asshole, and you did the right thing. The best thing for that little one. My story. My birth mother went wild around 16 and started drinking and using drugs. Her and my birth father met somewhere in there, and the two of them bonded over their love of drugs and alcohol. At 17, they ran away. Her family dragged her back, and shortly after she turned 18, while in a drug-induced hallucination, I popped out. Her family decided to put me up for adoption. She was in no shape. Her little sister was all excited to bring the baby home and raise it. At 14, she was ready to me in. Okay? There's a couple months age gap where I can't explain, but based on info we found, I spent those months detoxing from whatever she was taking. Then I was given to an incredible family. A loving family. I never wanted, I wasn't abused, I was one of the success stories that you don't hear about. My parents died when I was in my early 20s. I was married shortly after, and then my wife and I started discussing having kids and my medical history. Given what I know now, I was extremely lucky. I have some severe medical issues, but at least I have my mind about me. My birth mother spent decades as a junkie, only cleaning up a few years before I found her because she got pregnant with my brother. She crawled back in the bottle when he hit 18 and died there. My birth father I was never in touch with, but thanks to Florida Open Records, I've seen the mugshot that confirms his relation. And as for what kind of person he was, he never left the drugs either. My definition of him was, he got kicked out of a Florida trailer park because of his attack dogs. He died a few years before her. And that 14-year-old who wanted to bring me home and take care of the baby, she's been grandma to my kids and was the first one that I told after we found out we were pregnant. That little one will most likely have a good, safe life, and years from now, you'll probably have them show up on your doorstep. Be honest but kind. They'll have questions, and let them know that they were loved, which is why you have to let them go. Good luck. It's a pretty beautiful story, that one. Oh my god. What do you guys have to say? Oh, Epic Zoe, welcome back. Welcome back, Epic Zoe. Late to the party. Good to see ya. It's been like a month, I'm sorry. I forgot. I need to restart this YouTube chat. Welcome back, welcome back. Good to see ya. How are we? How we doing? This story makes my head hurt and makes me feel sick, like really sick to my core. Opie needs to go low or no contact, and she can't force her daughter to get help. The daughter would just use her at any time that she can. OP was here this time. Oh, a donation. Yo, donation time. What do we got? What's the damage? $10 donation. I'm just here to give a super chat, that wonderful Aussie hubby Markee. I'll be back later to watch this when it's uploaded later. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate the $10. Thank you for that, and thank you for tuning into the stream. I hope you enjoy it when it's uploaded. Although I don't know when this, it'll be uploaded as a video. Ask our beautiful editor Stevo when he can upload these. It's definitely a possibility, but I think after birth it happens. OP was here this time. The daughter is definitely going to try to have more kids, maybe at a hospital, maybe not. This is literally the worst scenario possible. Hello, Epic Zoe, good to see ya. If she is predisposed for schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, a high-stress event could cause a psychotic break. Absolutely. Epic Zoe, Markee was looking for you. This story... You don't think this is a new cult or a pre-existing one? This sounds like it's a new cult to me. I think they've just made this one up. Didn't see the notification until now. Brought the missus to the stream today. Ah, welcome, Epic Zoe. Good to see you again. It's really good that she didn't take the kid. It's much better that the state is involved from the get-go. I snitched. You snitched? Oh, hell no. Story's been whack. Might see that Starseed cult. Everything would be... I'm sorry. My brain's in a haze today. Justice for Kermit and justice for Rob. We all need a Rob. What a perfect live stream for me to go to sleep to. Thanks, Markee. You're welcome, Vonnie Strider. What is Kermit? Have I missed that one or just forgot? Just go to the last live stream that we did. Also the latest, hour-long video that's been uploaded. You can get that Kermit story there. That was fun. That was so fun. Opie needs to let their daughter go. She can't make her help. Needs to keep herself safe now. This may not be possible, releasing toxic fumes upon burning and all. Maybe a new cult. Her sperm donor there with the first 2 members. A hat for forgetting Epic Zoe. I'll wear the hat later. I don't want to wear the hat right now. They may want to make sure that mental health issues run in the family for the adoption. It might be important. Yeah, sounds like some mental health issues are running in the family. Read the first update before and thought this can't get worse. I miss feeling that foolish. Vonnie, you can fall asleep to this story? Crazy. You can't help someone who won't help themselves, just move. Absolutely. I suggest a sombrero. I give my bean stamp of approval. We have a mod. Welcome, mod. If some, like, whack job turns up like last time, you know what to do. Is there someone who needed a banning? Not yet, no. It's pretty good the baby is not on drugs and won't have to go through withdrawal. I was recently diagnosed as bipolar and the doctor said it's hereditary. Oh. I want to go see if I have bipolar. I don't want to feel left out now. That's a joke. I don't mean, it's probably a bad joke, I'm sorry. When someone is so deep into delusions, nothing you could do or say will help them see the harm of their actions. Was there someone who needed banning? No. Make sure to inform the birth parents about any mental health issues running the family for the adoption. It seems like it's not just the mother but the sperm donor who have mental health. Yeah, I definitely see the sperm donor absolutely having some incredible mental health issues there. Jesus. Babies and animals that go through withdrawal, adults can at least understand what's happening to them. I'm glad that didn't happen here. Thank God that didn't happen here. Jet lag brain, Markee. Definitely still some jet lag brain going on here. I've been enjoying Steve's editing in the past live streams. Definitely going to have to watch this one. We'll see. I've been enjoying his live streams too. Some people were saying that when he like zooms in on me in the corner here, it's a little bit headache inducing. I think it's pretty chill though, personally. I like it. That Kermit story haunts me to this day. If only Sperm Donor had his own emotional support Kermit plushie, he would have just had a cult of Muppets instead of humans. The couch is definitely messed up. Yeah. We stand bipolar but meditated. You're meditating on that bipolar. I'm glad that the meditation is working out for you. Okay, last story for the day. NSFW one. Great. Bro's a robot. Update. Update 2. Update 3. Oh my god. Oh my god. r/infidelity. What a good little place to be reading stories from. The best place, even. Nope. Okay. Another huge story. Don't forget to like this stream, gang. Do not forget to like this stream. It's gonna hit like 3 hours by the time I finish this story. Hell nah, bruh. Okay, like this stream. Like this stream. Only 70 likes and 130 viewers. What's going on? Okay, let's get into it, gang, shall we? Let's do it. Posted by user farhumor1774, titled, "My wife admitted to having a drunken one-night stand last week, and it's turned me into a robot. I, 32 male, have been married to my wife Kate, 30 female, for 4 years, together for 9. Our relationship has been amazing, loving, and supportive. We have good communication, hardly ever argue, and our bedroom life has gone from strength to strength over the years. We discussed cheating in the past, and I always cleared that we would be over if it ever happened. Kate went home to visit her family last weekend, which was fairly normal. Before she left on the Friday night, we had a minor argument about keeping the house tidy, so our communication was limited on Saturday, but I knew she was going to meet some friends at a bar. I trusted her 100%, so didn't think anything of it. Before I fell asleep, I texted her saying that I hoped she had a nice night. When I woke up on Sunday morning, I had a missed call from Kate at 4 a.m, so I immediately called her to check if she was okay, but no answer. After a few hours, I tried again a few times, but still no answer. Around an hour later, I got a message saying that she was fine and was driving back soon. Kate got home late afternoon and looked awful. She had clearly been crying, was not wearing any makeup, which was unusual for her, and looked like a shell of a person. I knew right away something was wrong, but she wouldn't let me hug her and would barely speak. I sat her down on the couch and made her some tea. I gently encouraged her to tell me what was wrong, and she burst into uncontrollable tears for at least 10 minutes, while I was trying to comfort her. She then proceeded to tell me, stopping every few words, that she had slept with someone last night after the bar. At that moment, something in my brain broke. I can't describe it in any other way. I immediately got up and jumped in my car and drove off. I went to a park and walked around for about an hour. Katie was calling my phone constantly, and I turned it off. When I got home, I grabbed 2 suitcases from the garage and went to our bedroom. I threw some of Kate's clothes and shoes into them and left them by the front door. Kate was lying on the floor in the living room, curled up into a ball, sobbing. I called her best friend who lives nearby and told her that Kate needed a place to stay and a ride to her place, and that Kate could explain everything to her later. I told Kate that I was leaving for an hour and that her friend was coming to pick her up. She grabbed onto my legs, trying to stop me from leaving. When I returned home again, Kate was gone, and so were the cases. On Monday, with a clearer head, I answered one of Kate's many calls and told her that I needed her to send me an email with as much detail as possible of that night, and if she leaves anything out, that there will be no hope of reconciliation. I received this email on Monday night, but still haven't opened it. Since then, everyone has been trying to contact me, but I've just been working, exercising, and sleeping. One of her friends turned up at my house with an attitude demanding an explanation. I told her to speak to Kate and close the door in her face. I've also been speaking to divorce lawyers, have moved money into separate accounts, and have blocked Kate and all of her friends on everything. Everything I have done since I found out seems like I've been on autopilot. I don't feel angry, upset, or overly emotional, just numb. Kate posted a note through the door yesterday asking me to meet tomorrow, but I'm conflicted. Should I meet her? Will it change anything? Is there any point in trying to reconcile? Is it normal to feel like a robot, and how do I snap out of this? Edit, just to add when I came home the first time, Kate confirmed it was consensual, she was drunk, but knew what she was doing. Don't sound good to me, that sounds pretty bad. This is a roller coaster, is it? Oh. This doesn't sound good. Kermit Story is the second video on his channel. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'll re-listen. Or not. Ew. Chest of the cheetah, I ain't being cheesy. Hope he just had an out-of-body experience, just disassociated Kate emotionally manipulated him to come back and send her flying monkey. I think it was consensual, but I guess we weren't Kate in that instance. To me, it sounds like it was consensual here. Yeah. I think OP is currently coping with the situation as it is. I don't think that OP is doing too well right now. I don't think I'd be doing too well either. It's like 9:30 here, so it's fitting Kate late night streams. Hell yeah. I can't remember... Oh my god, this is not... Why are half the comments disappearing here? Huh. Strange Eons has a video about the nephew's Tumblr post in the Kermit Story. True. I'm betting either not fully consensual or it was I'm going to get back at him. I'm suddenly regretting it now that it's been done. Yeah. It does seem as though some regret happening. A lot of regret happening here. A lot of regretty spaghetti. In the comments, RMIR72 says, it is normal. It's a self-defense mechanism. You've been hurt so deeply and completely that you can't process the pain. When the dam breaks, it's going to be awful. My heart breaks for you. Good luck, friends. Yep, this is going to be a bad one when it hits you, and it will, OP. Good luck and stay strong. You're doing the right things, OP. There is no excuse to cheat. You did nothing wrong. It's not your fault. Do not feel guilty. You deserve better. Alcohol can't make you cheat. It just makes it easier to do what's already on your mind. Cheating is never a mistake, but it is a bad decision. Cheating is a choice. she wanted to do it. She wanted to throw away everything that you guys had together. I'd say you're 100% doing the right thing. Oh my god, I'm burping so. I'd say you were 100% doing the right thing. You'd better tell both sides of your family, mutual friends, now. Do it now. Up to you how you take it from here, but if it's this easy for her to cheat, if you stuck it out, how long until she did it again? And this is just a simple one-night stand? Hard to say which is worse, a one-night stand or a long drawn-out emotional connection cultivating in a PA. But this speaks to her incredible selfishness. Be very careful and do whatever your lawyer says and tell everyone. Not to be an asshole, but to maintain control of the narrative. May already be too late there, OP. You were spot on with the alcohol comment. 30-something years ago when I was in college, my roommate and I went to a party. I have never seen someone get as drunk as he was. Dude looked like a J.Crew model. Women were trying to get with him all night. He just kept saying to get off me, I have a girlfriend. Even in his extremely drunken state, he was faithful. You lack the morals and character and choose to cheat, or you don't. It really is that simple. Thank you for sharing that memory. Couldn't agree more with this. You choose to put yourself in the position to cheat, no matter your sobriety. It's never an excuse. Opie, sending you all the strength you need, mate. Currently recovering from being cheated on, it was hidden from me entirely. She didn't have the backbone to tell me, but the robotic feeling will last a while, but glimmers will come back. I'm still stuck in it, unfortunately for me. Your exercising is my binge eating, so I'm causing myself even more suffering. But I'll get there. We'll get there. Feel free to DM if you need any support. Thank you, Terenkula. Very nice of you to do that. I don't think there's much more that I can add to that one. I'm going to go for another quick break. 2 updates to go after this one, and then we'll be done with the stream for the day. But as it stands, this is the update. You can read a little bit if you would like, guys. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Quick break for the voice. I'll see you in a sec. Many men, many men wish death upon me. Welcome back, gang. Welcome back. Now to deal with the consequences. I drank the water. I have my own live stream in the bathroom? Hell nah. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Why is the live stream not caught up? Okay. And now, on to the update. After reading your comments, I decided to meet with Kate, but not read the email. Kate came to my house yesterday, and when I opened the door, she looked terrible. She tried to hug me and started mumbling apologies, but I stopped her, and we sat down to talk. I started by telling Kate that I would be recording the audio of the conversation, and she agreed. I then asked her to explain what happened, and told her that I haven't read the email she sent. Kate said that she had been at the bar with 2 friends. I know and like both of them, and told me what she had to drink. I was surprised at how little she drank, because it was the same amount that we would normally drink when going for dinner, a few glasses of wine and a cocktail. She admitted that she was only slightly tipsy. One of her friends, Sarah... Oh, that's blocking. One of her friends, Sarah, has a younger brother, Max, 27 male, who came to pick them up around midnight. It's a running joke in their group that Max has had a major crush on Kate since high school, and I'd heard them joke about this. The 4 of them went to get some food, and Max then dropped each one off until it was just him and Kate. Kate said she didn't want him to drive the 20 minutes to her parents' place after working all day, so would just order an Uber from his apartment. She went into his apartment to order the Uber, but couldn't get one. Max suggested that she could just crash in his bed and he would take the sofa. He would then drop her off in the morning. Kate refused and continued to try to find an Uber. They were sitting on Max's bed and he kissed her. She kissed him back, and they ended up having sex. After that, she broke down crying from guilt, and Max took her home. She cried for another hour, and then tried to call me to tell me what she had done. We had to stop a number of times because Kate kept breaking down and crying hysterically. She told me that it was a huge mistake, she got caught up in the moment, it was terrible, she only loves me, blah blah blah. After she was done, I told her that her story didn't make sense, but it didn't matter at this stage because I was done. This caused another breakdown. I told her I was going to continue with the divorce preparations, but for the next month, we would be separated with no contact. I also told her that we would both remain faithful, would get a full STD panel, and she would tell our mutual friends and family what happened. If she sticks to these conditions, I would be willing to meet her again to see if there was any way forward other than divorce. She enthusiastically agreed to this, but made it clear that she did not expect me to stay faithful to her. That's crazy. I know many of you will criticize this decision, but I need to be sure that a divorce is the right option after I have had time to process everything that has happened. I'm still 99% sure that this is where we are heading, but I need to be 100% certain. In the comments, you should reach out to Sarah and ask for her side. Especially as if you decide to give your wife a chance, mandatory requirement will be no contact to Max at all, and this, your wife has to accept, may mean the end of her friendship with Sarah if Sarah cannot accept her brother being a persona non grata around your wife. And somehow I get the feeling that Sarah may have set this up. She no doubt is aware of her brother's feelings towards your wife, and would love it if your wife and her brother became a couple. I agree. Sarah set this up, no contact with Sarah if you stay together. We will see if she actually tells people what she did. She needs to tell her 2 friends she was with what she did, and make sure she tells both of them that they are no longer in her life. Reconciling takes time and effort, OP. If it were me, I would text her some additional requirements. She needs to get into therapy and figure out why she would allow herself to do this, learn boundaries, and that cheating is abusive behavior. She needs to learn to help a spouse heal from abuse. She needs to learn how to help a spouse heal from abuse and trauma. She has destroyed the foundation of trust. That takes years to get back. Every time she has gone away from you, you will wonder what she is doing. Tell her she needs to read not just Friends, she needs to read, not just friends. Start to look up how to help your spouse heal from an affair. She needs to understand what she has done. And you may want to look at post-nuptial agreements. She gets an attorney, and you get one, and you define cheating, what it is for her, and if it happens again, what are the consequences in divorce. Opie, it is always your choice. All I can tell you is, your marriage will never be the same, you will never look at her the same way, she will be forever tainted to you. But give it this month and see how you feel. But I would start the process as to not slow it down, because that is an extra month that you have to stay married if you don't want to be. You can always stop the process. Update me. Opie, doesn't make any sense about... Oh god, these are long comments. 2 long comments for me, I'm sorry. Funny how your wife was the last in the car. Did they plan this? 20 minutes to her mum's is nothing. She willingly went to the apartment, had sex, and is now guilty. Probably not the first time. Sorry for you. Yeah, the 20 minutes driving being too far makes no sense, especially if he had already been dropping people off and volunteered to be chauffeur for the night. Also, she couldn't find an Uber at midnight? Bullshit. 7 PM to 3 AM is their most active in any mid-sized city or larger, because that's when the money starts flowing. Max also had a plan that she was the last one in the car with him. She knew what was happening and thought that it was a good idea at the time. Drunk or not, she wanted this to happen. I'd probably believe that this was the first time, but that wouldn't make a difference in my book. Rough business. Shady business. Oh, goddamn. Epic Zero, okay. Also, Rora, good night. This has been a story and a half so far. Jesus. Don't enter the bus like that. Okay, I see how it is. Swan is strong. What am I dealing with here? Shit. Wheat is good. Angry birds. Cheaters that go, oh, you can cheat too. They're just trying to drag people down to their level. But if you treat them well, they also won't forget. Okay. Interesting. This story is the one where the OP's girl was by a guy and she couldn't understand that she was taken advantage of instead of cheating on OP. Yeah, this is a different story by the looks of it. Memorize your house and poop on your car and bike after you've put away the cleaning supplies before having their friends poop on you. That's so nice of them. Okay. Attended a stream. Thank you. Greetings from Perth, Australia. Oh, thank you for being here, Lord Firebird. Disregard anything that I said about Perth at the start of the stream. You're welcome here. I'm going to go on to the next update. Sorry, I'm just in a trance right now, guys, but welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming here. You're very much welcome, Lord Firebird. Markee is just trying to read the story and chat is a completely different topic. Yeah, then I come back to see what you guys have to say about the story. And it's just stories about birds. That's great. I love this. You watch an old man scoop and scold some angry bird. Okay. I'm just gonna go into these ones. I'm just reading stories while you guys chat at the back of the class, it looks like. I missed what you said about Perth, Markee. Don't worry about anything that I would have said about Perth, Lord Firebird. You guys in the west coast of Australia, you guys are alright. Us east coasters, we're cool too. Everyone's cool. I love everyone equally. I've been to Perth twice. It was fun. It's a nice little place there. I wouldn't be surprised about that since it's harder for men to understand that since the mentality is, damn man, you got lucky. Yeah. I just don't understand what she meant in that instance by like, yeah, you can cheat too, that's chill. No, I can't cheat too. That's crazy. Okay. And now onto update 2. So a few things have happened in the last week, so I thought I would make an update post if anyone's interested. First of all, I am not in robot mode anymore. I've been having bursts of intense feelings, feelings of anger and betrayal, but have been keeping busy with work and exercise. My friends have also been great since they found out and have been dragging me out of the house to hang out. I decided to read the email and wish I hadn't. The story Kate told in the email was mostly the same, but there was no mention of going into Max's apartment to order an Uber. There were also pretty explicit details of what they did, for how long, and that they'd apparently used a condom. I will never be able to forget this description. I remember that story. It was like a little while ago where they're just like, every time they said they're using a condom, it's cream pies. They were the cream pie in every opportunity possible, multiple times. She's pregnant from the cheating sex that they had. Don't listen to them. I thought it was such a funny comment. Many people who were originally criticizing me for kicking Kate out of the house have now apologized, but they can keep it. Kate's parents reached out to apologize, and I spoke to them because we had a good relationship before all of this. They begged me to try to work it out too, but said they understand that if I decided to get a divorce, I didn't commit to either option. Kate's other friend, that was there that night, contacted me to tell me her side of the story. It mostly matched up. Bar, food, home. She said Kate could stay over at her house, but she refused, saying she was driving home early the next morning. Max apparently insisted that he would take Kate home. The version of the story that she told didn't mention Kate trying to get an Uber, only that Max invited her in and she accepted. I asked her if she had ever suspected anything before, and she told me about that I asked her if she had ever suspected anything before, and she told me that about a year ago, she went to meet Kate for coffee, but found Max sitting with her when she arrived. Apparently Kate looked guilty, but when asked about it, she said they just met by chance. Sarah, Max's sister, also reached out to me, and I spoke to her too. She was angry with both Max and Kate, and told me a similar story. Apparently her whole family are angry with Max, and she had not spoken to Kate since she found out. She apologized on behalf of her idiot brother, and said she had warned him to stay away from Kate since high school. She didn't think anything else had happened between them. I have had zero contact from Kate, but heard that she was going to be moving into an Airbnb near our house. Apparently she's not coping well, and called in sick from work a few times over the last few weeks. She does have support from a friend that she is currently living with, and I asked her parents to keep an eye on her. Her parents came up to see her this past weekend. I went out with some friends at the weekend, and ended up drunk at a bar. I was talking to a girl there who I probably could have gone home with, but I stopped myself because I wanted to keep my self-respect. Reading the email and hearing what they had done made me give up hope of repairing this, especially when I know that she's not being truthful with me on other things, so who knows? I'll be moving ahead with a divorce, and might not even wait a month before telling Kate that this is my final decision. Really? You didn't even go home with them, even though your wife said, you can sleep with other people, but I can't. What, you're not going to fall for the obvious getcha, got me card from your cheating ex? Oh my god. In the comments, Coco Almonds Rock says, sounds like you're making good choices, even though they're hard and painful. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. It really sucks. Hopefully she doesn't fight you, and the divorce will be over soon. Then you can go find the girl from the bar. Don't find the girl from the bar. OP replies, I'm hoping that the least she can do is make the divorce smooth. Bar girl is definitely not the one for me. I felt like prey. Did you confront her about the apparently accidental coffee meetup? Max needs to be raked over the coals by his family, in my opinion. Glad to hear that you're doing better, OP. It sounds like, as everyone and yourself predicted, her story was bullshit. From the way the friends spoke about it, especially that meeting for coffee, the affair has been going on for a while. If not physical, at the very least emotional. The guilt must have got her eventually, which is why she finally confessed. Or that was the first time physically crossing boundaries. Either way, she's a cheater with loose morals and a manipulative streak. Her email describing everything without you having asked for detail is truly despicable. She could have put in a "he was bigger" in there too, just to hurt even more. Don't do that, that's really rude. It sucks that she's thrown your marriage away for an affair partner with a dickhead, but at least you found out that pre-having children. Karma will find them both, I have no doubt. Probably next you'll hear is that they're officially dating, but hopefully she loses all her friends, and they'd inevitably break up by one of them cheating on the other. Probably. That's how it usually works. But hopefully your friends and circle get you through it, which it sounds like they are. Onwards, and hopefully upwards. You must feel so much lighter having ditched the cheating baggage. I would hope so, but I would like to see what this comment, or this latest update, has to tell us about that situation. What are we thinking, gang? What are we thinking? Just gonna come back over here. Bread talk. Oh, okay. Bird talk and bread talk. You guys talking bread and birds again? Yeah. Markee making his apology. I have made a severe and continuous lapse of judgment. I'm not reading the comments about the Kermit plushie. I wouldn't be surprised about that, since it's harder for men to understand that. Okay, yep. I'm so excited. Wait, did someone say birds? She cheated, bottom line. If that's her deal breaker, stand on that. Kate is very awful. Got some good friends. Too bad Kate was the rotten apple of the bunch. Screw Kate. All me and my homies hate Kate. Or rather, don't screw Kate. She'll like that. And don't screw anyone else. Kate apparently is into that too. Screw Kate. Me and Markee's chat hate Kate. I can't be friends with cheaters. If you can betray someone that you're building a life with, what would you be willing to do to me? Truer words were never spoken. All facts, no printer. OP's a respectable guy. He needs a female Rob. Guys, can we turn Rob into a female? Please? I keep getting interrupted. I'm sorry that you keep getting interrupted. You deserve better. You're just as bad as me. You also slept with someone outside of this marriage. Kate, probably. Yeah, after she gives the free pass. Hard and painful, that's what she said. I hope she didn't say that. What did I miss? You missed a lot. There's a lot going on. There's definitely a lot happening. Chat being very off topic. Who would have thought? Oh, sorry that the kitty is bleeding from its claws. I hope Kitty does better. Time for me to ascend into slumber. Hopefully the birds in the walls don't break in to steal my food. Good night, sleepy alien. Really living up to the name tonight. Loosey goosey. Cheaters, and also my affair partner's genitals are glow in the dark. Yeah! Jesus. Whoa, 19-pound cat, goddamn. I guess the link was deleted. I linked a video of Swan getting rescued off the side of the road. Is there something in the YouTube settings that doesn't allow links? Links, let's see. Did I do something? Settings, init. Content moderation? Is there an option for that? It seems as though I can't do anything about the content moderation on the stream. I'm sorry about that. I just don't think YouTube likes anyone putting links out there, because it's like, it looks like you're trying to scam people. I think that's what that is. Message retracted. See, I didn't retract that message. Only mods can post links, typically. So yeah, only me and Zoe. Update fresh off the press, 15-hour-old update. Yeah. Fresh one. Fresh, for real. For real, for real. No bleeding from his claws. Oh, me bleeding from his claws. What are you doing bleeding from their claws? Oh, my bad. I was like, trying to conceptualize that one. Hopefully the kitty doesn't attack you too much. I made the guess that he threatened to say something, so she said before he could, but I could read too much Reddit. Discord chat when? Oh yeah. I don't want to open the Discord chat just yet, I'm lazy. I hate change. Change? My worst enemy. Discord chat when I feel like it, okay? Old man yells at cloud. Last one before I end the stream for today, gang. We're on to Update 3. So I debated posting this update, but a lot of people seem to be invested in this mess, so here it is. Apologies in advance if this is TMI. Kate sent me an email last week asking to pick up some things that she needed for work. My lawyer told me not to prevent her from having access to the house or her possessions, so I reluctantly agreed that she could come over on Thursday nights when I would be at the gym. I told her to be out by 7:30 when I got home at 8, but when I got home at 8, she was still there. When I walked in, she had left a few work-related items next to the stairs, and she was chopping vegetables for dinner. She looked amazing with her hair and makeup done, wearing one of the dresses that I like. The whole place had been tidied and cleaned. I calmly asked her to leave immediately, and she made her way to the door, but stopped and asked if we could speak. I should have said no, but I eventually agreed. We sat down and had a conversation for around an hour, which jumped from topic to oh my god, which jumped from topic to topic. Again, I told her I would record the audio, and she agreed. I started by asking her if she had kept her side of the agreement that we made last time we spoke. She said she had taken an STI test, which was all negative. Mine was too, thankfully, and a pregnancy test, which was negative. She hadn't been with anyone else? She hadn't been with anyone else, and also told a few family and friends what had happened, and many of them were angry and were not speaking to her. I asked a lot of questions that had been turning over in my mind for the last few weeks. She confirmed that her reason for going into Max's apartment, the Uber story, was BS, and she said that he invited her in for a drink, and she agreed, knowing at some level that something was going to happen. She can't explain why she did this, other than being selfish and enjoying the attention. She also confirmed that she had texted with a Max a few times over the years because he would shower her with compliments and make her feel good. He would always initiate, and she was apparently careful not to lead him on, and said that she had never sent him explicit messages or pictures. Kate also told me that they had hooked up about 6 months before we got together, but never had sex. She admitted that she was always a bit curious. Her story about being caught at the coffee shop was that Max had texted her asking what she was up to, and she had told him where she was, and then he turned up. She swore that this was the first time they'd ever done anything since we had been together. She said there was nothing missing in our relationship, and she hates herself for ruining her perfect marriage and causing me so much pain. I told her that I still don't believe her story, and that there was no point in continuing the conversation. She calmly asked what she would need to do to make this right, offering up her phone, location sharing, not going out without me, etc. She had clearly been doing some research. I said that I had no plans to become her prison guard, especially when I would never get over the betrayal. Things then took an unexpected turn which caught me completely off guard. She asked me to turn off the audio recording because she had something private she wanted to discuss and didn't want other people hearing it. I refused, and she reluctantly continued. She asked if I'd been involved with anyone else sexually since all of this happened, making it clear that she was fine with it. I told her no, and she said that I must be going crazy. We used to have sex almost daily, and started talking dirty about all the things that I could do with and to her. This involved a lot of kinky things that I had wanted to try or had only done a few times. She said she wanted to meet my needs, even if we did not get back together. She said we could have as many threesomes as I wanted from now on, or we could be open on my side only, and she would even find partners for us and me. She was trying very hard to turn me on, and I stayed silent until she asked who I wanted to have the threesome with. For some reason, I mentioned the name of her co-worker who was 5 years younger than Kate, and a total knockout. This surprised her, but she was in too deep and asked me what I wanted to do with her. I went into detail about a pretty hardcore scenario, and Kate was encouraging me until I said that she would just be watching. This again caught her off guard, but she went along with it. Later on I realized I only said all of this as a petty attempt to hurt Kate, which I don't feel good about. She was obviously convinced that her plan was working, so she pulled up her dress and got into my favorite position on the couch, begging me to have sex with her. I'll admit that only for a few seconds. Sorry, it's a lot to read. I'll admit that only for a few seconds my body reacted, even though my head was not in the game. Everything suddenly came into focus, and the content of her email came flooding into my head. I can't explain why I started, but I started to laugh. Not just a chuckle, but a full-on belly laugh. She looked hurt and moved away and then started to cry. I told her it was time for her to go, and she left quickly, probably due to the embarrassment. I also said that she needed to hurry up and get a lawyer because we are getting divorced. The post-nut clarity after she left confirmed that I had dodged a bullet. I have a meeting with my lawyer later this week and wanted to move forward with a divorce as quickly as possible. Yeah, I feel like she was trying to set up some trap there as well against him. That was... The couch! The couch! There was another couch involved! Yes, you can't undo cheating. You can do everything you want to seduce OP in a situation like that, but yeah, that's some crazy manipulation there, yes. Another couch. Love, couch's unwanted life. True, true. Not a good look by her. Why are people calling me? No one calls me except spam. Oh my god. I'll handle the Discord, Markee. I promise not to ban everyone. True. $10 to 10k. Good. That's a good little suggestion right there. Moderated with the Iron Fist of Epic Zoe. Real ones. Only real ones get into the Discord chat. I'll think about it next stream, okay? Anyone who has a warm summer weather wants to trade the cold winter weather where I'm at. But Perth weather's not that bad. Come on. Perth's great. We love Perth. Little bit of westerly winds to warm you up. I hope he didn't even have post-nut clarity. He just had clarity. I wanted to bet she was going to tell OP was pregnant. I think she was trying to get pregnant. That seems like she was trying to get pregnant in this situation. You know, a little bit petty by OP for what he did there, but I don't see anything wrong with that. She came on like way harder and said some absolutely insane shit and did some insane shit before this. I think she deserves the embarrassment for all of that. It's like that one where OP was cheated on and then did the insane lockdowns on the wife and put her through a humiliation ritual. And that's not right either. OP is completely skipping over something like that happening because it's not right to either of them if OP doesn't even want to get back with her. If OP doesn't want the relationship back and doesn't want the marriage back, why try and seduce him into it? It doesn't make any sense. Did you find my custom emoji in the Discord? LMFAO. Is the Birdman one? the cat going, ah! That's pretty chill. I stan it. I stan it. Right, I have cold in this 99-degree heat and 89% humidity. It's pretty freezing today here, I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't feel like there's any humidity. People don't always stay because of a baby. She was just going to use an innocent life to manipulate someone else. Oh my god, yeah. Sleep with her mom, is it wrong? Probably. Would it be more drama? Probably. What if he brought up, you can sleep with anyone, and I'll make it happen? He's like, your mom, make it happen right now. You said you can. That would be crazy. Fefurion says, as someone who suggested that's gone through this more times than any man should, oh, I'm sorry about that. My advice is to go no contact. The threesomes request, etc. is just the tip of the iceberg. I fell for it, and we did have a threesome with her friend, but because of that, she felt validated to keep seeing the other guy behind my back. I didn't even think of that, but that's true. If you're not willing to share her, don't let her share you. The relationship is over, brother. Gym it up and hit the dating scene. It'll be hard and you'll cry plenty, but it's not a weakness. Channel that negativity into something positive. I used to go do squats while bawling my eyes out and use that anger to push more reps. You'll find a woman deserving of your love and loyalty. This is making me depressed. I'm sorry, F.A. Furion. If you ever hear this, I hope everything's going well for you, my brother. She's only sorry for herself and wants you to forgive her to make herself feel less guilty and to get others to forgive her. The amount of disrespect is astounding. She went with him with the intention to screw him. She's not 12 anymore, where you only plan on kissing someone when you go alone with them to their home. She's trickle-truthing. She could have opted out at any point if she felt so bad about it and truly loved you. It's bullshit. She only thinks about herself and still does. And don't tell me they didn't have sex before you got together. And her story about him just turning up when she was about to meet her friend is a lie. She showed you who she really is. Believe her. She only regrets this because she lost so much, because she had so many things coming out of the marriage that are now gone. How can she make this up? Make it undone. She clearly enjoyed what they did, otherwise she would have stopped it. She is full of bullshit. I just feel so flat after all of this. This is just a terrible situation. They were sitting on Max's bed and he kissed her. She 100% knew what she was doing. People who respect their relationships don't put themselves in a position like that. Why are you hanging out on his bed at 2 a.m. after the bar? Especially after the friend said she could have crashed at her house, and then Kate insisted that she was going to drive home in the morning from Max's house. She's trifling, and I'm glad that OP was strong enough to separate from someone like that. Yup. When my wife cheated on me, she thought that we would stay together. There was no way that that was going to happen. What we had was special, and she broke it. There is no going back. Same. A friend told me that once they have broken that trust, there's no amount of trying that will repair it, that I'd spend the rest of my life questioning everything they do. They said they had a late meeting. Is that true? They left their phone. Should I check it? Just better to call it and save yourself the years of mental stress. A friend of mine came home once to be sat down by his brother and girlfriend and told that they were sorry, but that they were in love, and his relationship was over. He'd been I hate these ones. I hate them so much. He'd been inseparable from his brother for 20 years, had defended him against all corners, and on occasion, taken the fall from him when they were in trouble. His brother was all surprised Pikachu face on that on it sinking in for my friend, that this had been a one-sided relationship. My friend switched to treating him with polite distance. He said, but he had no plans to marry her, at 20, after 8 months, and never realized that the girl wasn't the point. He'd revealed his own character, and that was enough. It's always brutal. It's always brutal to hear these ones. I feel like I'm getting beaten up right now. I feel like I'm taking hits in a boxing match, in a YouTube boxing match. I don't like this. Okay, I'm going to end the stream soon. What are we thinking of this one so far? Let me know your final thoughts on this one, gang. What have you thought of these stories today? I'm not feeling any better than I started this stream with. This sucks. Oh my god. Nice, gonna sleep listening to my Aussie hubby Markee. Good night, day, afternoon to y'all. Good night, Bernadette. I hope you have a good sleep. Remember when Lois cheated on Peter, and when she asked who he chose as free path, he said, Babs? Is Babs her mum? That was 1997. Haven't been back to California since. What was the story? What was the story? Learned my lesson. Took my abusive ex back after the affairs. Last affair, she was 20, my ex 43, and he married her. Oof. Not good. Yeah, don't take your abusive ex back. Sorry about that. Jesus. Couch, don't hurt me. Couch been hurting someone. It was hurting the ex's ego in that story, that's for sure. Shocking what people will deal with. People really just taking their own punches to their face. I sometimes read or listen to Emma the Arsehole posts that I'm interested in reading. Some of the comments that Reddit members come up with are a mix of interesting and brutal, depending on what it's about. These ones are hitting, they're really brutal. These ones, I don't know about all that. They hurt. Many scritches for King Trousers. Hell yeah. I'll give some scritches to King Trousers. He deserves them. He was here yesterday. He got his scritches. He's loved and he's all good. That's all you guys need to know. He's chilling. Markee, your Aussie voice put Mrs. Zoe to sleep. Thank you for your service. Thank you to other Zoe. Is it Mr. Zoe or Miss Zoe? Is that Mr. Zoe that I'm talking to here? Thank you for being a part of the chat. Thank you for your service. I'm glad that Mrs. Zoe got put to sleep, and I hope they're having a good sleep tonight. When's the next stream, Markee? Tuesdays and Thursdays here. So whatever time this is for you guys, 2 days from now. So for me, it's Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm guessing for you that's Mondays and Wednesdays. Monday and Wednesday night for you Americans. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that every week, Tuesday and Thursday. What do you guys think about that? I think that's pretty chill. This has been like way longer than I wanted it to be. This is like 3 hours now. 2.5 hours. I'm gonna try and just do 1 hour streams because this is just my warm up for things, but I wanted to do a bit of a longer one today just because I had nothing else really to do. And I'm happy with it, but there is more work to be done now that I'm back home. The opening you did with trousers in your hands is the highlight of my day. Yeah, when I was like, yes, Mr. Mod Zo is I. Thank you for your service, Mr. Mod Zo. Much appreciated. Way, thank you, Markee, for the schedule update. Yeah, I originally wanted to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which would be Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday for you guys, but I can't handle 3 streams a week, so I'm just going to be doing Tuesday, Thursday, which for you guys is Monday, Wednesday night. And I like having my weekends off. Anyone else have a husband that calls non-stop when they're at the grocery store? My man is causing me to miss this story. Has called 4 freaking times. It reminded me of the husband that does all the cleaning on TikTok. Just every time there's a new cut, he's just like, what do you guys think of like beaches, huh? We're going to go out to the beach this summer, and I'm really not sure what I'm going to buy for the kids for this one. Yeah, husband sounds great. You know, he's going to be, he doesn't have the brain. You got the brain in this relationship, Felicia. I didn't even realize it's been more than 30 minutes. Yeah. Is it ending? Yeah, I'm just finishing up now because I want to go eat something. I'm hungry, and my voice hurty. I'm guilty of that. I still somehow miss like 1/3 of the things. Bye, Felicia. Hey guys, what I miss? A few things, but I'm sure you can watch back the rest of the stream if you'd like. You don't have to miss too much. Alrighty. Get some food and water, everyone. Remember to take care of yourselves. Absolutely. Oh god, not the Kermit the Frog story. Alright guys, I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna go have a nice chill rest of my day. I'll see you guys on Wednesday night, American time. Thursday morning, my time. And I hope that you guys... Throat goat is done. That's outrageous. Hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you later. Good night. Bye.